Hi, everyone, and welcome to Rescripted Podcast, where we could celebrate the great things in life, but share about the not so great parts, and find out how we can rewrite those challenges, turn them into insightful moments that will lead us to change, to growth, to happiness, and empowerment, all so that we can live the life we truly want to experience. In today's episode, we are going to be discussing the value of having a support system. And what I mean by that is, as you are on this journey, you are going to start realizing that there are going to be moments where it's going to be beneficial for you to be in solitude so that you can understand more of what your journey is supposed to show you, unfold, and all the different discoveries that you're meant to find in this journey. But along the way, finding time to have solitude is going to sit well with some people will respect it, other people won't understand it and will take it personal, so it can cause friction with some of the people in your life. So as you're on this journey, it's inevitable. That's the best way to really get an understanding, because there's so many different things that influence us. So once we're able to get in solitude and we're able to really focus on those things that are important to us, and then we're able to discover why they're important to us and really just kind of go down that discovery and research, well, there's going to be moments where you're going to be in solitude for a really long time. And you're going to want to be around people that understand why you're doing it, the purpose behind it, and know that there's no malice intent behind it, right? You're not ignoring anyone intentionally. You're not trying to push anybody out your life intentionally, but you just really have to get yourself in a place where you could zone in and where you could focus on what are the things that are working for you, the things that are serving you in your life, and the things that are not, and why, right? Most of the time we just operate, but if we don't know the significance of these things, then it's hard to have the value for it. So when you have some people in your life and you know that they're good people and they're part of your support team, you're going to know and you're going to see, because in these moments where you need to be in solitude, they won't judge you for it. They won't make you feel bad about it, and they will respect it and honor it. And that's what you need, right? You don't need to, you already feel like maybe a little lost or maybe a little confused. So the last thing that you're going to need is someone to make you feel bad, because you're going on this journey that is meant to help in your healing process, right? Your healing journey and your growing journey, not necessarily that you had to have gone through something, but just evolving. You're going to have your stages where it's going to, require for you to be in solitude. So you'll know that you have a great support system when they don't make you feel bad about having to go through these moments, but in fact will also honor it and respect it. Because in this season of change, so many things are going to shift. So many things are going to get out of alignment so that other things can get into alignment. And you're going to now start to develop like this internal change, right? So naturally, it's going to reflect on the outside. Naturally, you're going to see it manifest in different areas in your life, because you no longer are attracted to the things that you maybe once were. Not totally, not everything, but you're going to start seeing shifts happen. And sometimes that's going to fall into some of the things that you used to find like escape in, things that you used to have a good time in. Like those things are going to shift. And some people you are very close to because you share in similar interests and hobbies and things of that nature. But what happens when you outgrow those hobbies and those interests? Does that mean that you outgrow the people as well? I mean, it depends, right? It depends on what their journey is like, and are they on the same trajectory as you? Because a lot of times you're connected to people for a season, for a reason, and then once your journey starts taking off, you may still have similar interests and you may not. So a lot of times when friendships end or relationships end, it's not because there was a bad person or a bad situation. It could just be that you both started to evolve and that journey was no longer navigating you in the same direction. So that's also something to take into in your journey of growth. It doesn't have to be that someone's either good or bad, depending on how they grow with you or if they stand by you. You should never make someone feel judged, or you're doubting the quality of person they are simply because you're growing apart. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person or they're a bad person. It doesn't have that doesn't factor it in at all. It's just how you're growing, what is authentic to you and what is authentic to them. Because remember, in this journey, like any other journey in life, you're going to have your highs and you're going to have your lows. You're going to have great wins and you're going to have moments of frustration because you are growing. So you're not really understanding the full landscape of this process that you're going through, right? So it could cause friction, it can cause frustration. So you're going to have those people that love you and support you, and they're going to be there. They're going to be there through those moments with you. And if they need to just sit there with you, well, then they will. Or if they need to, come up with a plan and help you, develop a strategy, well, they will, and these are the people that you want to keep close. And these are the people that you're going to want to always honor and care for and love, because honestly, support isn't a one-way street. I know that sometimes we can get in our own heads because it's our life that we're actively living, so we're actively focused on the things that are working, the things that are not working. So it's hard not to be like focused on your own like current status, your own current situation. But the truth of the matter is, if someone's able to take time out of their day, out of their situation, out of the circumstances that they're going through, and be able to be in support of you when you need it, that's something extremely valuable, and don't take it for granted. Everyone's time is valuable because once it's spent, you can't get it back, right? So when you spend it with someone, when someone spends it with you, you should honor it and appreciate it as such, as something that they're no longer going to get back. You will no longer get back. So make the best of it and really have a mutual love and respect for one another, because support isn't a one-way street. So just like today, you're going to need someone's, support, or their words of encouragement, or sometimes just their presence. Sometimes just having someone be by your side in a moment where you're going through some frustrations, that could be medicine enough, because you're sitting there and you're able to talk with someone, you're able to get some of those things out, and someone's able to help you get clarity. And, you know, sometimes it's so easy for us to get lost, to get frustrated, to get overwhelmed with our own situation, that we forget that, the people that are our support also go through the same thing. So just don't forget to turn around and make sure that you're there for them too, because that way you're both equally feeding each other. And your support system could be one person, your support system can be 100 people. Whatever it is, just know that as someone's pouring into you, don't forget to pour back into them, because everyone's going through something, and you just want to be appreciative of everyone, but you also want to be respectful of everyone's journey as well. So, like that old rule that we all know, treat others as you would like to be treated yourself. So, if you're ever frustrated and you find yourself being overwhelmed, and you're around somebody and you're about to take it out on them, just kind of give yourself a moment, give yourself a minute to step away and gather yourself, because you don't want to treat anyone in a dismissive manner. No one deserves that, And just because you're going through something doesn't allow you to treat somebody in a way that could be devaluing to them, could be dismissive to them, and undeserving, really, because again, if someone takes time out of their day to be with you in support of you, and you're going to be mean to them, or you're going to be um, just dismissive, then they're going to see that it is not a good investment of their time to pour into you. Any little thing that someone does to help you out, anything that anyone does to kind of make your day easier, or make you laugh, or anything like that, just make you feel a little bit more comfortable in the situation that you're in, that has great significance, because it's helping you get out of maybe that uncomfortable moment. It has great value because someone's pouring into you and they're taking time away from what's important to them, what they're going through, to be able to pour into you. So always make sure to value that, and there's different ways where you can do that. There's different ways where you can show that value. You also are a valuable support system to them, because if they take time to be there for you, you definitely want to take the time to be there for them as well. And the different ways that you can show your appreciation is obviously verbally, right? Letting them know that you love them and you care for them and you're so grateful for what they are in your life and who they are and how they show up. Um, and then you can also, of course, be there for them too when they need something. Know that they can count on you just as much as you can count on them. But also, too, just remember that taking the time out and seeing what is needed. Sometimes we feel like the best gift that we can give, it has something to do with monetary. But sometimes the most beautiful gift that you could give someone is just simply the opportunity to continue to bond with you, right? So if you're going through something challenging and they come up, and sometimes just their presence, just them being next to you is enough. And if you're a woman, you know what I'm talking about, that time of the month where you don't really want to share a lot of words. You don't need to express a lot of words, but you just want your special person, whether it's your best friend, your mom, or your significant other. Um, you just want them there. Maybe not talking so much, but just having their presence and knowing that somebody that you love is next to you, and that you can love and you can cuddle, or if you need something, they're there. You know, that in and of itself, is great. So just make sure that um, your presence in and of itself has value, and of course their presence has value as well. So understand that the beautiful treasure in it all is the bond. It's the ability to bond. And when you get to that point when you're able to do things for one another, in anticipation, without you having to say something to one another, that's also a beautiful thing. That's a great relationship to have, because it shows love. It shows care, right? How can you anticipate what someone needs without them having to say anything? It's because you pay attention, because you care, because you value that person, and they're there for you, so you want to be able to do the same thing back for them. And when you're ready to talk, they're there, and that's also good. That's great. Talking is so good for the soul. It allows you to get all that out. It allows you to understand all the areas in which you're looking at something. Are you looking at it from the right perspective? Are you looking at it from, like, maybe an elevated perspective, and where you can shift? But being able to talk with somebody that you can trust and really open up with, well, that matters, that makes all the difference. So being able to talk is such a good thing for the soul. But also listening is so good to healing, and that's why it's so important that your support system is someone that you value, surrounded by people that you trust, because you're going to listen, and in that listening you're going to be able to extract something that's going to be a part of your healing. So when you have someone that really loves you, and they're going to see you for who you are and what you are, and being able to help you, there's times that they're going to be honest, right? Respectful. They're still going to be mindful of your feelings, but at the end of the day, they are going to be honest, and that's going to help you get yourself out of, like, maybe the position that you're in, or maybe help you get, like, clarity on some things that were a little foggy to you. But because they love you and you were able to talk with them, and now when you listen, you're going to get counsel, and you're going to see, is it valuable counsel? Is it something that you can see and feel and understand, that there was great love behind those words, behind that encouragement, and so that's part of the bond. You get to, you know to be a part of one another's, like, healing journey, just with the simple words that you use. And then, of course, when you need a restart, there's nothing better than laughter. There's nothing better than being able to go through something, realize the challenges, understand that, something brought you overwhelming feeling, doubt, insecurity, frustration, whatever it is, but it took you out of alignment of you feeling good or being on the path of being productive. And you're able to be in, an environment with somebody that you care about dearly and obviously dearly cares about you. You guys are able to talk when you're ready. And, then that allows you to open up to listen. And once you're able to listen and you feel like you got good advice, then it brings like a sense of calmness and, almost like a restart. You're ready to restart. You're ready to face the matter again. And, to finish it off with the laughter is just so good. It's definitely so good. So none of those things really had any monetary value, right? But it was the bond. It was the bond that you were able to rest in one another, rely on one another, trust one another. But ultimately, it's the bond. It's the bond that you have with one another. And that's what makes a wonderful support team. And that's why it is so important to value them. Let them know that they're valued. Let them know that they're appreciated, because there's not very many people that have the capacity to put their stuff to the side to be able to be there for you. A lot of times, you'll come across people that will be there for you as long as it's not an inconvenience for them. And sometimes, let's be honest, we could be that way too. Like, there are some people that you will go out of your way, doesn't matter the time, the place, whatever, you will extend yourself as far as you need to because you love that person so much. But then you have some people that you won't extend yourself that much. You really won't make yourself as available, because the connection and the bond isn't there. So that's something to really look forward to. Like when you have somebody of great significance to you and you're wondering why, it's because you've developed a bond with them. And that's something that you want to take care of. That's something that you really want to hold, close and dear to your heart, because if you know how to value people, then you will have many of these in your life, maybe in different levels, right? Because not everyone's going to be 100% going hard for you all day, every day. They have to be there for themselves as well. So you have different people at different stages that, like, they're able to pour into you and you're able to pour into them. But the best thing that you can do to understand that this is something of value and this is someone that's in your circle, your inner circle, your support system, is to assess and evaluate the bond that you guys have. If this is something where you're just like, even in the midst of my troubles, I want to be there for you, then you're going to know you have a good person. You're going to have a good person with you, somebody that you love, and that may be a long-term relationship in your life. Again, whether it's a friend, whether it's a family member, whether it's your significant other, whether it's your parent, your kids, there are going to be people that are staples in your life. And you want to make sure that you have good relationships with them. You establish good boundaries, establish good, like, respect for one another, so mutual. Yeah, so that way you're able to appreciate the relationships in your life, and you're able to build on them, truly build on them, and understand what the foundation of your relationship is. What kind of bond do you guys have? Maybe you're not in a relationship with this person where you can talk, but if you need a good laugh, they're your go-to person, or maybe this is a person that doesn't talk a lot, but when they talk with great significance. So you know that this is somebody who you could trust their words because they don't use them loosely. They may not want to hear all of the emotion. They may not want to hear the full circle, like the full story. Maybe they just want kind of like the bullet point version of what you're going through. But once they give you advice, it's great sound advice that that is going to help you on moving on. So that's something else to take into account, that not every person is going to have the same level of significance. Not every person is going to have the same level of, like, commitment, and not everyone's going to have the same bond with you. So understand that you have many different layers to yourself. just as everybody else does. And in some of those layers, you'll have people that meet you in every aspect. And in some of them, you'll have people that'll meet you in specific aspects of your life. And that's a great way to gauge the type of relationships that you have. And if there's people that don't feed any of them, well, then maybe that's a person that's no longer um, of a value to your journey, and it could be that you're no longer a value to their journey either. It's so easy to always like point the finger and try to blame people for maybe mishaps that happen in our lives, but truthfully, if we like turn the finger around and point it over at us, and sometimes we're not the greatest person to help that person in the situation. Sometimes we are the one that isn't called to really be a great support system for that person. And a lot of times it's because your values don't align, because it's hard for you guys to see eye to eye if you don't share the same foundational morals and values is really what it boils down to, so being able to understand that and being able to go through that process can be hard, because it's going to take you some real time to assess the relationships that are in your life, and you're able to see the ones that you really cherish and value, and the ones that maybe you have outgrown. And that's so hard because not a single person is insignificant. That's not what I'm saying at all. All I'm saying is that maybe you outgrew that part of your life where you guys were valuable for one another, and now you guys are going in different paths, and now you just want to be able to have the most significant life to you, and whatever that journey unfolds itself to be, whether it's you want to be more creative in your life, or if you want to be more intentional with your life, whatever your desire is, you just want to experience it to the best of your ability, maximize it to the best of your ability, and you would want the same thing for that person as well. So if you are no longer in alignment, and maybe you are no longer the best for one another, then all you want to do is wish them well, wish them nothing but great blessings, because everyone has a beautiful journey that needs to unfold however it is meant to be. And it's a privilege to be a part of their journey. But it's also a privilege when it ends if it's not meant to continue. So just make sure of that. Everything works out for your good, everything is intended for your good. And in your season of life, just extract whatever you're supposed to and give value and your contribution wherever you're supposed to. And you're going to see that harmonious balance in your life. And you're going to have a greater appreciation for the people that are in it, because now you're going to know why they're in your life. And it'll be harder to take them for granted because they hold so much value for you. You're not going to want to take them for granted. You're going to want to love them more and appreciate them more and show them the love and respect that you have for them, and ultimately continue to grow the bond that you've already established and take it further so that you can have more moments, more bonding moments, more laughter, and great stories to tell as you continue on with your life, because you're going to always look back and be like, remember when? And oh my God, I can't believe we went through this. And then that's beautiful, because um, sometimes we think that we do life alone, but we absolutely don't. And we have certain people in our lives for certain reasons, and they bring great significance. And you want them to know that. You want them to know that. So if you are ready to understand what your values are, what your boundaries are, and what type of lifestyle you truly want to live, well, of course, I have a course for you. I have a mini course, which is called just that: values, boundaries, and lifestyle. How to align with them so that you can understand how authentic you're being. And if you're out of alignment with any of your values, if you're out of alignment with any of your boundaries, then you'll know how to get right back to it so that you can live the life that you want in the lifestyle that you want to. Because at the end of the day, it is your life to live, it is your life to build, it is your story to create. So if it's ever off beat, it's okay. Nothing is irreversible, right? If you're in a situation where you don't like, extract the lesson, move on, and and just be more aligned with your intention. But keep going, because this is your story to tell. This is your story to build. It is your journey, and make sure that it is in alignment with you. So if you're interested in doing that, then definitely go to the description down below, and I'll have that provided for you. But of course, if some of those fundamental foundational elements are already done, and you've uncovered all of that, and you are ready to take the lead in your own life, you're ready, you understand where areas in life where you need to pivot, and you're ready to take action towards that, and I invite you to take our masterclass, which is called Take the Lead, which shows you how to build a framework to your dream life. So if you're interested in that, check out the next clip, and I'm going to dive a little bit more into that. This masterclass, I am so excited because we start off with your current point, where you are currently and what challenges you are facing. And I go over it with you, and in the masterclass we're able to see and develop what are some of the challenges along the way, and how and what that truly impacts, and what are the next action steps to move forward so that you can be able to take the lead and build the framework to your dream life, because you truly deserve it. Because a lot of times we really aren't that far away from the dream life we really want to have. We just need a few tweaks and we'll be right there. And I want to assist you with that if you are finding it a little challenging to find out what it is precisely that you have to tweak. So if you are interested in that, please sign up for our masterclass. I'll link all the information down below. But if you are ready for something even more profound, more of a transformation, I have this wonderful course called Tailor Your Life. And in that 12-week program, we really do dissect really the core of some of these challenges. What's creating your self-doubt that's going to lead to self-sabotage that ultimately brings you to have that so uncomfortable feeling of imposter syndrome. Because ultimately what we want is to align with our purpose. We want to know what our calling is so that we can live more effectively in it. And that is what that program walks you through and allows you to see that journey unfold right in front of you, so that you can continuously always see where you're going, where you're guiding, and all the different elements and components that you'll need to go through that process and effectively find your purpose. So if that's something that you are excited about, and that's something that you are truly wanting to transform into, you're tired of this guessing game, you're tired of trying to figure it out, and you really just truly want a core blueprint to finding out what your purpose is and be able to align with it, then I invite you to have a discovery session with me. Also, the information will be down below, and we'll talk about it and see if that's what you are ready to do, if you really are ready to take those next steps, and I'll be happy and more than excited to be able to assist you with that as well. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And if you enjoyed this episode and feel like it was insightful, then I ask you to please rate it, like it, and subscribe, and share it with someone you feel will enjoy it. I'll be back here next week, and we will continue to discuss matters regarding personal development. Take care, guys. Have a blessed week, and I'll see you next time.